I'm your host, Duane. This is the weekly tap in, and I'm tapping in. What's going on with you guys? Welcome back. Been a week, but it's been a great week, a productive week. So make sure put a shout out to your city so we can acknowledge you if you're listening. Those who are listening on the podcast, we appreciate you. As always, we could not do it without you, making sure that you know, we're trying to deliver consistency. Um, and give you guys tools that you can use in life, not only just to get ahead, but more importantly to cope. Because I think I would say the most important thing is coping, right? Is how do we deal with things? Not necessarily so much about what we have or what type of opportunity, but how do we? Because our mindset is an asset, or it can be something that can be potentially detrimental to us. So we'll talk about that. But today's episode, man. So we're deep in season 3. Um, Today's episode is, man, we're right where we're supposed to be. Period. Right where we're supposed to be. Right. And oftentimes that's a difficult concept to grasp, right? When we think about that. What's going on, Samuel? Appreciate you tapping in as always, brother. Man, your loyalty is not go unnoticed. So, man, thank you. Sincerely, brother. But yeah, man, being content with where we are, man. One of the homies complimented me, said, man, I can't, you so content with your position. Man, that I don't think that that's a given. I think that that's something that needs to consistently be worked at, because we're challenged on a day-to-day basis. When we're going after our dreams, we're challenged, I mean, in all facets, right? In particular, the things that consistently bother us. So you'll be hit with those things over and over again. You're sitting up there and wondering, like, why am I constantly getting this repeat effort of whatever it is that's supposed to be challenging me, right? Whatever it is that's supposed to be preventing me. Because at the end of the day, ultimately, is to get your mindset, right? If I can get you to go off course just slightly, just for a little bit of time, I got you in anything, right? What's going on, Tanisha? Appreciate you guys. The Herald's always tapping in, man. So shout out to the Herald team, Herald all day, baby. But yeah, man, it's those little things, and they're constant. Same people, same, and it's your repeated test, right? It's your quiz. It's your you haven't passed this yet. You know what I'm saying? So you got to repeat those things, and some of the same things started my week off as well. Same thing that constantly pisses me off came back. So another thing that constantly pisses me off was followed up right behind that. So you start to see the sequence of things. You're like, damn. Okay, this is a riddle. Okay, there's somebody playing with me. Yeah, somebody playing with you, man. The longer you live, the more you understand this whole God and evil and enemy thing. You know what I'm saying? You really start to get it. People think I'm going religious, man. That's far from what I'm doing. Right? It's just I get it now, right? The longer I've lived, the more I understand. And this is my fight. A lot of people don't even realize that they're in that fight. They think they just got bad luck. Like, nah, that's not it. There's no such thing. What happens is you keep falling for the bait. You keep falling for the okie doke of what this fool keep putting out there, right? And if every time you fall for it, that's what, it's team him gets a victory, right? And you stay stagnant, right? You don't move forward when you fall for his BS at all, right? People try to talk me out of moving to LA. Man, this is crazy expensive. What you gonna do? You don't know any, man. That's when my gut kicks in, and I understand my position. And that's kind of the premise of what we're talking about today. We're right where we're supposed to be. Man, nobody's journey is like mine. Nobody's built like me. Nobody's designed like me, right? So there's no duplicate course. There's nothing to reference. There's only evidence to leave behind. So it's up to me to constantly seek out these opportunities, right? To try things and challenge things, because I'm a one of a kind. I'm not designed to be a follower. So I'm supposed to get out there. My thing, the reason why I'm not getting specific with my stuff, I'll tell you guys a little bit. What's going on, Anthony? Appreciate you, homeboy. Don't go too much into what I'm talking about, because you got your own journey. You got your own things to discover, homie. You got your own things to go out there and kick your dent and make your obituary pop, right? And that's a hard one to swallow. Like, what do I want it to say? Well, you better have it say something. You feel what I'm saying? You better go out there and try a bunch of stuff, right? Don't let nobody limit you, right? And think you got to be like somebody else in order to be successful. I got to have this. I got to have that. Nah, your journey is yours exclusively. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see stuff. And we talked about that, how people may not share the same. They don't see what you see. It's not for them. It's not theirs. You dig? So you're right where you're supposed. Oh man, and you start to look to the left and to the right and start to compare yourselves, the first dream killer, first thing, compare myself, man. My journey's unique. I'm gonna be one of them cats that started his franchise in the 60s. Like who says stuff like that? But to somebody who embraces their position in the race, right? Because it ain't one. The only person you racing is your last mile. Should be. I'm not comparing ourselves to anybody. When you see somebody bubbling, that you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know if they're at their peak in their best moment in life. This may be it for them, and you up there comparing your lowest moment to their highest moment. No wonder why you ain't feeling like you could be the best. That's an unfair challenge. I saw Jeff Bezos on a video I was showing my students it was earlier today. And he was talking about, dude, when I first started, I was taking the books up to the post office myself. I was like, that's all I needed to hear. Now mine may take longer because a lot of times we'll sit up there and say, well, shit, he flipped his, he got Amazon popping in 10 years. Man, that's what you think. A lot of times it was longer than that. So you right where you supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? There's some steps that you haven't got to yet. But you're right where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be there, right? That's for him and her or whoever else. That's cool. Admire it. Chill with it. Hey, man, I love to see you in your element, man. Life is treating you very well. And embrace their moment, right? As hard as it may, that's a difficult one, right? Because everything may be going sour for you at that time, but you're right where you're supposed to be because there's lessons and blessings. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no cruelty. No, universe is not being cruel to you. It's lessons and blessings. If you haven't graduated to the next level yet, clearly you need to get your study guide up and figure out what hasn't been working, right? Start to develop your own study guide. All right, let me see. Okay, bam, I keep running into this chick. She salty and negative ass. All right, that changes my mood. And I come home and then I don't feel like doing this, right? Or when I get around this person, I'm energetic. They bring out the best in me. You know what I'm saying? They put me up on game. They expose me to things. Okay. So you start to let me figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what God really trying to tell me. Because He gonna put people in your life that are supposed to be there. He got demons and angels floating around this joint like a mom. They are all around here to throw us assists or try to cock block us. And understanding that that's a real situation. This ain't no fairy tale I'm not basing it on nothing. I'm basing it on straight real life experience between me and God. Man, if I was lying, I'd be, man, I'd have to make up a gimmick. I would need one. I don't have one. My thing is just telling you my experiences over and over again. But that's the thing, like understanding and being content with what He's given us and being appreciative of blessing at every stage, right? Every stage we needed, man, my apartment was cool. We had the pool, you know what I'm saying? It was miniature, and just appreciate it. And I had to check myself. That's when I actually did it. And that's when I started getting more blessings, when I did that. When I sat up there and looked at it and said, you know what? Look at all this stuff I have because I've been without, man. I've gotten out of prison with $200 check, right? That's not, and no hookup on nothing. And cats, glad you in that position, right? Because you was the man before that. They glad you fell off. Oh, look at this cat. They happy to try to dog you. I've been in all those positions, and guess what? It taught me something. You can't come try to claim your position after you've been out of rotation for so many odd seasons or whatnot. And two, you find out who your friends are because your homies, the ones who were still your friends are still your friends. The ones who was with you because you had a cool ticket, they on to the next. That's fine, right? Because that taught me something, right? It wasn't it. Okay, boom, sacrifice next. You got to go to school. You're going to take all these L's. You're going to have to do all this. You're going to be broke. You're going to be broke again. When you first start working, you're going to be broke. And then when you first start your businesses, you're going to be broke. So get used to being broke, right? First lesson, I guess, in having money. Get used to being broke, right? And understanding that how to develop a work ethic that's not necessarily motivated and only connected to a dollar, because there's going to be days and times that you got to put in that work where ain't no money attached to it, right? I'm sitting there, I finished a paper. There's no money attached to writing an academic paper, none directly, right? But over time, as I start to develop my portfolio and start to move towards my PhD, then you might see something different, right? Then, okay, but then, man, that play you did back in the day when everybody was whoop and you were sitting up there writing papers and sacrificing, now it's paying off maybe 10 years later, right? Because you got a tenure to an academic institution where your kids don't have to pay tuition. Oh, that was the play. Yeah, that was the play. Right. So a lot of times you got to think in terms of chess. I keep telling everybody, man, we ain't playing checkers. Some of these cats is playing checkers, king me running around. Man, we gonna be at this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? This is a long-term play. Your position is right where you're supposed to be. If you ain't graduated yet, there's some things that you need to learn. There's some people that you haven't met yet, right? That are gonna walk you through the door. I just read it was an article on Inglewood Facebook or something like that that was talking about a lady who had worked in the kitchens, worked in school kitchens, and she was sampling around with her food and all this and this and that. And she walked into some 99-cent store and they had to open like a building next to her that was open, and the dude just happened to talk to her, and it was just divine timing. Right. And if we rush the process, we're gonna miss our divine timing moments, because they come in random, but they come with zero effort. You don't have to do anything. Right. I remember when I was trying to on the path to getting the bus, I didn't have to do anything. Everything just started coming. I met the dude that did the interior. He turned me on to the mechanic and the guy who does the inspections and smogs. And they just kept turning me on to different people, which would led to zero effort. There was no effort. And that's the thing. They always talk about stuff. It's effortless. Yeah, that's how God works. If you struggling to strive, you may be struggling and striving to learn your lesson, but your blessing requires no effort. That's given to you, right? But sometimes you may have to go learn how to, maintain your blessing, and that comes with the work. And a lot of it, there's no gratitude. There's nobody patting you on the back. There's a lot of stuff I do that nobody knows about, has no idea what I'm doing. And I don't put it out there for that, right? Because then what am I doing it for? Am I doing it for recognition? Am I doing it for this and that? So I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes so that it's one, it gets done, and two, I know this is my calling. This is something that God's calling me to do. And then you may have those things that God calling you to do. You may like, man, I got to be in this position. You right where you're supposed to be. I got to take care of my parent who didn't do what you right where you're supposed to be. I got to do this. You right where you're supposed to be. Get your notepad out now, because this is when God's really going to start talking to you, right? When you think you're in a position that you're not supposed to be in, this is when you got to break out your notepad and really start to write these notes. Hey, man, feeling like this is when you these are going to be instructions for your next obstacle, right? I got, like I told y'all in the past, I got journals from when I was in college, and they got miracle stories in them, right? Why just take one man's version of miracles when you have your own? You could damn near write your own Bible. Keep it 100. And that's not being, disrespectful to them, but I'm being 100 with you, man, because you're going through the same processes that they talking about. Miracles, serpents, demons, you you name it. All that shit is still cracking. It didn't stop. You know what I mean? They just got different names. Now, sometimes the demons may be the homie. It may be somebody that looks like this. It may be somebody that looks like this. An angel may be somebody that he may not necessarily had a sandals on and a robe and shit. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, they come with the blessing. You know what I'm saying? It's been plenty of time where people come and just, save whole neighborhoods. getting a Noah's Ark on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying what it ended then. And they tells, man, you can write your own because you witnessing miracles to this day. You seeing people triumph. You seeing David's smash Goliath. You seeing all that stuff to this day, right? And if you of people of color, you really got miracle stories that you seeing to this day. So why not ask for more? You know what I'm saying? And understand and embrace your place, right? Let me just take notes. Let me just write this stuff down. Because I'm seeing these miracles happen every day. I'm seeing them happen to my family. I'm seeing them happen to my friends. I'm seeing them happen to me, right? Get to walk and see all these different things. See, I've been to the bottom. It's hard not to really appreciate stuff unless you've been to the bottom and been without, right? Once you've been without, you know how to appreciate family. You know how to appreciate friends, women, whatever the case, whatever your deal is. Refrigerators was mine, right? When I was in the pen, we didn't have no access to refrigerators. So when I got home, man, just opening my refrigerator was gravy, dog. Sounds simple and you know, like plain jam, whatever. But that was it. You know what I'm saying? And even then, I embraced my place. You need to sit down before you hurt somebody or hurt yourself, more importantly. Because I was going crazy, literally. Like literally going crazy, riding around with Mac 90s chasing. It was bad. You know what I'm saying? It was just a matter of time for I really hurt myself in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? So I embraced that. Go sit your ass down for a minute. Get your head together. We get ready to take everything. You're gonna lose everything, including your position, your rank, and wherever you know, however you people see you in the streets, you're about to lose all that. Giving it to somebody else. And it's hard to sit up there and look at it like, damn, dog. excuse me. Pardon me. Like, damn, dog. Somebody got my spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, we taking all that. And humble yourself and be like, I'm okay with this. I understand why I'm doing this. And I understand I'm looking at the bigger picture because the bigger picture is going to have me where I want to be. Right? All I got to do is ask for it and be patient and work diligently, not disrespect, keep my karma good, and I'll get the blessings that God promised me. Because once you ask for it, it's a given. If it's for you, right? Now, if it's something that's going to do you some harm, you may not get it. And be thankful that you don't, right? Be thankful in a position that you don't have certain things, right? It's a lot of people want Lamborghinis, right? This cat downtown got robbed for his. Cats hopped out on it. 4 cats. Lady just bought a Rolex. They hopped out on her too. Everybody likes the soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo. His twin just passed. Baby. He got everything, right? But he doesn't have that. And that's the thing about it, right? We're always looking to the left and to the right, but we don't know the entire story. It may look like this, right? The cat who's flossing, the cat who's putting everything out there, there's a lot of pain there. And we need to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Happy people are chilling. Happy people are kicking it. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their thing. But there's some people that have some holes, and a lot of times we have them too. And we'll compare ourselves. We'll have to put ourselves in positions. We think we got to be this, we got to be that in order to be successful, right? When there's people who just get into America's success. Man, I just got here. I don't even care what it looked like. I'm indoors and it's subjective, right? It depends, right? Yo trash, one man's trash is another man's treasure type conversation. The position that you in, somebody may be dying and desiring for, and here you are taking it for granted. Like, I need to be over here. I wish I was born to these parents. I wish I had this kind of, I wish Steph Curry was my brother. Do you really? How you even know how this cat is? You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Steph. I'm just saying, though. We get these wishes. I wish I was somebody else. I wish I could lose this weight. I wish I could be smarter. Man, God gave you everything you need to be successful. You just got to start unraveling it. It's almost like an escape room. That shit, it's not going to be blatantly obvious how to use the tools. But when you sit down, what God wants you to do is put your head around stuff. What did I need this for? Why did I go through this? Right? Why am I learning how to do these things? Right? Why? I don't know. Maybe a blessing down the line. I'm certainly getting involved in tourism and hospitality. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm understanding buses and I'm understanding catering and I'm understanding these things. Why? I have no idea. But I'm right where I'm supposed to be and I'm happy about it. That's the killer right there. Be happy with the position you in. Every level. Don't matter. As long as you ain't to the negative. And what the negative is going to jail, things like that, where you losing days, right? Wasting time. And sometimes it's okay to waste time. Some of your best ideas come with as a time waster. So that's okay. Idle time is okay a little bit, not too much. But more importantly, you need to watch who you hang around. That's the killer, right? Because their attitudes, their energy, all that stuff is contagious as fuck. I promise you. It is. It's almost like a cold and COVID. You almost got to mask up when you and you put your ears on. What's going on, Steven? Appreciate that, homie. It's almost like you got to put your mask and your ear mask on, not to listen to their shit, because they'll convey a lot of those fears onto you. They'll convey that energy, that negative mood, or that lack of, right? Constantly talking about a bunch of nothing, doesn't amount to stuff. You try to take them up, but I've learned a lot of heavy lifting right there. I ain't got to kind of try to take your conversation up. I'll let you take it up. Hopefully, discovery, right? Telling you. And that's the key, right? You always got to let people finish their task. And I'm learning that, right? Because as a control freak, as a type A personality, you often want to control things. But there's things that people need to learn. So we learned that, right, in that The Courage to Be Disliked book. Let people accomplish their own task. He need to figure that out. Let him figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my advice is subjective. It's based on my experience and what my path, my journey, and what God has for me. Now you could take what you want out of it. That's why I'm so transparent with what I'm talking about. But at the same time, that's for me. You got to figure out what's for you. What's going on? Cause I said, man, what's mom? What's going on, Coach? See you, homie. But that's the key, right? Whatever our path is for us. Period. And I'm right where I'm supposed to be, right? Don't compare yourself to anybody. Even the cats your age, even the cats who walked your walk, still unique. You ain't never gonna find somebody a duplicate. You better not. If it is, it's a knockoff because they broke the mold and they broke the mold with you too. So your path is right where you're supposed to be, right? Your level is where you're supposed to be. Your level of knowledge is right where it's supposed to be. A lot of times, if we move too fast, say for instance, I had the mindset that I had the brains that I have now, and back in my 20s, that might have been too much, right? Sometimes you got to be, man. Oh man, I wish I'd have had more money. Do you? You don't know who would have came, right? And them alphabet boys come, man. That's chunky time. That's not small time, right? So that's the difference. Like, I don't wish anything different. I'm glad all my experiences taught me and made me who I am today. They developed this character, they developed my business acumen, all that stuff. I'm not taking nothing for granted, even the hard stuff. As we going through it, right? It sucks going through the moment. There's a whole episode, shameless plug, talking about embrace the suck. Which you got to embrace the suck. It's going to be trash, right? It's not going to feel good. It's not going to make sense. You're going to feel like you're not making progress, but you're right where you're supposed to be. There's so many blessings and lessons in that position all the time, every day, if we pay attention. If we're on the right path, we're looking the right way, talking to the right people, and you'll get that vibe. You'll know who you're supposed to be around, and that person should make you feel better, should make you question your current position if you question it too, right? But should never make you feel bad. When you're around someone who doesn't make you feel good, right? Or who makes you feel bad, that you got to, man, my energy is too important to compromise it or share it with you, because I know it's not going to be good energy, right? Good energy and bad energy end up being majority bad energy. So sometimes you got to be by yourself and be alone if you can't find somebody that matches your energy. And it's tough oftentimes, because I become the one who I won't let us go down this rabbit hole of negativity if you're talking to me. I won't you start to talking about how bad it is, man. I'm gonna switch the conversation up. So a lot of people don't want to talk to me. They like, oh man, you think because some people just want to complain about shit. That's it. They just want to sit there and complain, like as if it's gonna do something. I tell my son all the time, man, what is complaining gonna do? How is that gonna help anything in this current position right now? How is that gonna move the needle forward? What we need is solutions right now, and complaining is not doing anything. So you'll find people oftentimes, man, it ain't no money out here. Oh man, it whoop whoop whoop. Oh man, look at Trump. Oh, look, finding excuses. You just looking for excuses, like hunting down a whole stroll or something. Just look. Let me see if I can find me an excuse. I mean, riding around. What is these damn excuses at? Outside these cats are. You know what I'm saying? You look, man. What you mean? Of all the times in the world, it's the greatest time to be alive, man. Medicine is everything is gravy. You serious? Gas is up, but I come from Generation X, man, where it's been up and down since we've been born. Right? We've been hustling. We hustled in the 80s when they said it was recession. We was getting boulders off. So I mean, all this stuff it doesn't matter to us. 2008, I got in the work game in 2008. Recession. As soon as we get out of recession, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So you built for this, man. You right where you're supposed to be. Why? I developed the toughness. Doesn't phase me, man. I'm a different kind of hustler. That's the key right there. You become a different kind of hustler. Doesn't phase you. You long-term thinking. I'm in it for the long term. I'm learning XYZ. I spend time at night studying. I do XYZ studying. I'm adding these things to my plate. I got these. I got a CD. I got a CDL, damn commercial driver's license. I got a catering, food handler's license, catering, all that stuff. Learn that game, right? Stepped into that game whenever it's presented to me. That's the key. Being cool with my position, not trying to chase the tail of somebody else because I think their position is cool. When we sit up there and start looking at everybody else's stuff, we take the eyes off our own. We're going to drop our own. Can't look at somebody else's blessing and not really appreciate ours, man. You tripping, man. All that blessing is cool for you. Somebody get a big giant cart, man. That works for you, man. That is beautiful. My eyes are on this, and they don't change because I see you doing this. I stick with my script, man. I understand what my blessings are. I understand where I'm headed mentally. So I may not be going that direction, although that looks fantastic, homie. I love it. That's not me though, homie. You know what I'm saying? I wear my valuables elsewhere. I put my money in books, right? And it'd be obvious once we talk. So that's the thing, you know, you put your money wherever you find the most important investment. And I'm not knocking nobody. Do your damn thing. But I'm gonna tell you like this. Everybody's right where they're supposed to be. So if you feel like you're struggling, if you feel like things aren't adding up, you need to get your study guide out. You know what I'm saying? You need to get your study guide out and figure it out. What's not working? Who's the common denominator? Okay, this cat. You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm down, that's because I don't talk to this cat. Every time you know what? Every time I talk to this cat, man, I feel like shit afterward. Okay. let me change up a few things, man. Let me start with eliminating this conversation with this cat or reducing it, right? Let me get it down to text since he can't popping up. Oh, no. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit him with this. Hey, man, you ever heard of the 4 agreements? Here, man, let's check this book out. Speaking of books, I got books, right? So this is when I tell when homies come around and they get to popping, I break these books out right here. So I got 3. I got A Complaint-Free World, Who Moved My Cheese, and The Power of Positive Thinking, right? These are some, let me see, let me flip them around so you guys can, and I got more of these too. Always got some books. Power of Positive Thinking. Let me see if that's, yeah. So The Power of Positive Thinking, and the reason why these books are important too for everybody that, you know, is listening, The Power of Positive Thinking, you got to keep your thoughts up. Right? Your conversation and your thoughts up will determine the type of life you live and lead. Period. Hands down. So you got to keep your thoughts up, man. And your thoughts are directly derived from your mouth, what you're saying, right? Are you speaking life into your dreams? Are you speaking life into your spouse? Are you speaking life into your kids? Speaking life into your life. Shit. You the only person that's gonna love on you the way you need to be loved on. So you need to be speaking life. If you got to sit up there and have a moment in the mirror every day to pump yourself up, to have these powerful conversations that motivate you. Homie, let's go down there and set your intentions. I had these intentions today. I set my intention, knocked out everything on time. The universe just cleared the path. I had to make it to West LA to get my dad's medicine back to South Bay. All this on the 405, timed it, man. I was done 5 minutes, found a space. It was just magical stuff. And that's what I mean. When you set your intention, don't allow things to just pop into your life and determine their importance, right? You set your intention. This is what I'm going to do. When you say that, the universe backs out your way, homie. This is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to finish a podcast episode. I'm going to do XYZ. I'm going to do 100 push-ups. I'm going to go down there and do, 50 side kicks. And next thing you know, this stuff is starting to happen, right? You setting your intention. You ain't letting the world dictate what it tells you. Here's what I'm gonna give you today. Nah, homie. Here's what I'm giving your ass today. Here's what I'm up to, homie. So here's what I plan on doing. I plan on going to the gym, smacking that out. I'm gonna get done in 45 minutes, and I'm gonna feel nice when I come out of there. Then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna write an hour on this paper. I'm gonna get some new article, and you just start talking yourself through this shit. You start motivating yourself, pumping yourself up, and talking yourself through every stage. Okay, then I'm gonna go down to the courthouse. I'm file my DBA, which is doing business as, which is like $35. And then or vice versa, I'm gonna get my LLC together, file with the state, figure out what I need for that, what that is. Or I need 125, 175. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put up 50 today. I'm gonna put up another 50 next week. And you start to set your intentions and put your plan together and start to talk yourself through it. The more you talk yourself through it, the more your mind starts to react and the universe gets the fuck out your way. I promise you that. And when the universe starts to move out your way, it starts to work with you and not against you, you'll start to see your dream manifest. But you have to feel it from an internal standpoint. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. This is for me. I'm getting it, and I'm going to do it methodically. I'm going to get up every day with the intention. I'm putting my intention in the universe, in the world. Here's what I plan to accomplish today. Cool? Bet. I'm on. And you go out and start to do it. And you start to move throughout your day. If you need mood music, get your mood music together. Whatever it takes. Get your mood music together and start kicking down that door. Don't let the enemy come in. They coming. He'll come, but at the same time, you so headstrong with your stuff, you keep going. You keep moving and keep chipping away at this. Eventually, it's there. And you're like, next. That's what Les Brown talks about, it being anticlimactic. Because a lot of times when you reach your goal, you don't even realize that you reached it. We got 141 of these lives. 141. It's 141 episodes. So we went beyond the 100th episode on this. Not everything went to a podcast, but we could have. 141, dog. That is fantastic. That's something I wouldn't even fathom that we did. So that's being intentional. Me getting up saying every Monday I'm about to bring it. Every Monday. I don't care if one person's listening. That means I'm changing the world, because if I can make them move, I don't know who's watching them, and I don't know who's watching them, and I don't know who's watching them. But if somebody is, now we're starting to get movement. And ultimately, if it gets to that person who has that ultimate influence, then you'll start to see the masses adopt. But until then, one person at a time. And I'm content with that because I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be anywhere else. I'm not supposed to be on the stage. I'm not polished yet. I don't have everything together the way it's supposed to be yet. So I'm content with where I'm supposed to be. I'm building. I'm developing. I'm understanding what I need to do. I'm understanding my type of content. I'm understanding my audience. I'm understanding what type of show I have. I'm not trying to be anything but who I am and what this show is. It's not for everybody. That's okay. Because the people who it is for will catch on. And we'll be doing business from this point. And what that business is me just giving my all. What God gives me, I slide it to you guys. Fair exchange, no robbery. I don't want anything for it. Pass the blessings forward. You see somebody else, help them out, homie. For real. Get that going. Pay it forward and your blessings will come back. People think this world is square. This is some circular shit. What goes around, it's a circle, comes around. So put the blessings out there. We've been blessed. We blessed other people. People been blessing us constantly. So let's keep that going, right? And once you're content with where you are, not saying that this is where you'll be. That's the one caveat I do want to address. This is not where you're going to be. It's being content with where you are does not mean that I'm content with this is where I will be. Negative. Right? Eyes on the prize, whatever that is, even if it's an old dream that you have, it still may come. So be ready for it. Be prepared for it. And if it's not for you at this time, ask for something different. But don't stop asking. As I mentioned, God's still in the blessing business. You guys saw that. Just because they ain't wearing sandals and robes and shit doesn't mean it's still not popping. So let's get going on that, right? Understanding who we are, but maintaining, watching our mouth. Positive thinking. Complaint-free world. This is another book that I stress a lot too, right? We ain't complaining about shit. For what? Do something about it. That's what I tell my son as well. Why complain? What we doing about it? Nothing. Ain't no sense of talking about it. And if we are going to talk about it, man, one of the things I only talk about is what I want. You rarely hear me talk. What's the point of giving that kind of power to something that you don't want? Why would I talk about it? For what? Man, this is such a, hey, man, I don't talk about disease. I don't talk about any of that stuff. I'm not naive and I'm not oblivious to it. But at the same time, I don't give it power because I understand my words are strong as a motherfucker. And they have a lot of power. I can break somebody down or I can lift them up. And that's a lot of power to that. So if that's the case, then why not use our words in a positive way, right? And I'm not speaking down on anybody. If I don't have anything nice to say, I'll just be quiet. I won't say anything. I won't bring you down. For what? That's power I know I have. And God told me to use it in a better way. So I'm listening. I'm not blocking my blessings with my verbs and my words. Not going to happen. So I'll speak you up. If I don't agree with something, I'll just maintain and be quiet and let God use that as a lesson for you. But I'm not going to be that one that blocks your blessings. That's for damn sure. And if somebody around you is blocking your blessings, not speaking life into you, talking behind your back, talking to other cats and trying to tell them bad stories or whatever, shake them like dice, homie. They ain't good for you. And be okay with that. Nah, it's not. And then the last one is, who moved my cheese? This is an old classic. It's about two mice. Many of you guys seen that. But this is what I tell people. Move your own cheese. Move your own cheese if somebody moving on you, right? A lot of cats I see they will do what you do. But that cheese will eventually get moved on you. As Jeff Bezos also said in the Amazon interview, we will be disrupted at some point. He's going to try to make it as long as he can, but there's going to be another company that disrupts them. Same thing with me. I got out the game before it pushed me out. Said, D, you can't. I'm done. You guys can have all of this. The fame, the glory, the money. Here you go. Do your thing. Because I know it kept me busy. I wasn't able to go on vacation. It just was a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it was what I knew because that's what I knew growing up. But it didn't give me a good enough return, right? The money was cool, but it was, doesn't make me happy. I got to drink to maintain, you know what I mean? And so I move my own cheese. Let me get out, let me move and not let me be here because if I stay around here, wherever I'm at, I'll get back popping. A lot of homies stay where they're at and wonder why they may get back popping. I'm like, nah, I don't need that kind of influence. Let me move away. You feel me? So that's what worked for me. May not work for everybody else, but that's what worked for me. So those are some of the books that I would suggest people if you really, really need, because I keep these. That's my war chest, right? These books are my war chest, and I keep them on deck. I keep several books on deck. So whatever I'm feeling, right? Almost like that cat who got a record for everything. Oh, man, you feeling down? Let me throw this record on for you. You should have that in an arsenal of books. I'm still reading my book on chicken. The ladies who started it. I'm going all in on that. I'm going out there. You guys will see pictures pretty soon. I'm embracing the history of it, right? So it's going to make us make better chicken because we understand the historical context to it. It's not just a marketing thing, but we get it, right? We understand that this is ours. We don't need to look at it any kind of other way besides embracing it. So we're doing that. But again, in our position, because I was in a rush, I wanted to get a restaurant. I'm seeing people pop up with the restaurant concepts. And my wife had to slow my ass down and let me know you're right where you're supposed to be. We got a 2 to 3 year plan. Actually, if we wanted to go 4, we got a 4-year plan. We're gonna stick this out, and that's that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm rocking with that. I'm okay with that. And whenever that kind of you get that kind of sage advice, you get that kind of God type advice, you got to embrace that stuff. You got to understand where it's coming from. What's going on, CJ? That's all right, homie. We appreciate you tapping in. We appreciate you tapping in anyways, dog. You guys could be doing so much with your time, man. It's basketball on. There's all kind of things going on. But you guys chose to rock with me, and I certainly do appreciate that. But that's what I'm giving out, homie. What's going on, Donovan G? All right, homie. So that's what I'm embracing, right where I'm supposed to be, the position I'm at, and not want to be in anybody else's skin. Because you don't know if that skin will fit. You don't know what that skin is going through. You don't know much of anything, right? We're looking at surface things, man. Let's step off of that. I don't want to change positions with anybody. I'm content with who I am. I'm not like people always, man, you got to be up in the morning. Man, what if you ain't a morning person, dog? Oh, you got to be, I'm not organized at all. Shit, and I don't want to be, and I'm not going to be. I don't have to be anything but who the fuck I am. Period. That's it. Right? And the minute we embrace that of who we are, the world will start embracing it too. That will conclude our weekly tap in for this week. Certainly appreciate you guys tapping in, man. Make sure you guys hit the subscription button if you're watching on YouTube. If this is your first time listening, man, leave us a review on iTunes, man. It certainly pays us dividends, man. Gets us into discovery, man. More and more people see us out there. Podcast gets traction. We're able to do more, right? We're able to spread this message. And hopefully you got the message tonight. Be content with where you are, homie. Understand that there's things that you haven't learned. There's people you haven't met. There's connections that haven't been connected yet. So be cool with where you are. You're right where you're supposed to be. Tapping out.